All right, we're back. We're going to be learning about BSP. We're also going to be learning about DIN heavy and DIN light. Okay, we're going to take a look at this fitting that came into the shop today. It was very, very interesting. Kind of took me for a spin here. And it's this fitting that's in this bag here. I'm going to pull it out right here, and I'm going to show you it right here. Bang. See that little O-ring that's inside of there? There's an O-ring that sits right up top there on that sealing point. Okay, so I'm going to put this right back in there. Bang. Okay, so beside it, this is BSP right here. So this is actually so this fitting is BSP, right? But the reason why it took me for a spin is because DIN light and DIN heavy have those O-rings inside of them. But today is going to be about attention to detail. Okay, so this is DIN heavy right here. So right here, this is DIN heavy number 8. So this is DIN heavy 8. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew that there. Bang, right? I'm going to pull out a fitting, a crimp fitting here. And as you can see that there's also a O-ring inside of there as well. Okay. So now we're going to go to DIN light here. And this is DIN light. And I'm going to pull out DIN light 10. There you go. Pointing into the 10 right there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unscrew that as well. And I'm also going to show you a crimp fitting of DIN light. And as you can see, there's also an O-ring in there as well. But remember, this is all attention to detail. This is looking at all the details that you can see. Remember this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back onto this BSP fitting here. And I'm going to show you. So look, there's an O-ring on this top right there. And that's DIN heavy. That's DIN heavy. And there's also an O-ring there too, but it's not the same size. ID. Now look at this. This ID is DIN light. And there you go. That almost looks the same, right? Can fool you a little bit. But now look, I go ahead and I'm going to push it in. Look how that sits in there. That's how it sits in there. See those threads? Now look at the threads over there. See how high that ID sits up top there? That's heavy. That's DIN heavy. And then that's DIN light. Look how high it sits up there. And then look, the left-hand side, the BSP side, it sits super low. So you can see all those threads right there, right? And look at, there you go. Look, there's BSP right there. Look, it's just those simple but small details that you have to look for in order to begin your search, right, of knowing what fitting this is. So this is right here. This is DIN heavy, right? It's the fitting I pulled out earlier. This is DIN heavy 8. And I'm going to go ahead and thread that in there, right? I'm going to thread that in there. So it appears to be going in. But look, there's so much wiggle in there. Look how much wiggle that is. That's not good. And it even appears to go ahead. It even appears to sit on that seal, right? But absolutely not. That is not the correct fitting. I had a lot of wiggle on that. No good. Now this is my DIN light. Okay, this is my DIN light right here. All right, boom, right? Appears to also be threading in too, but look, there's still wiggle in that thing. Look at that. Still wiggle in that. That's no good. That is no good. And I even go down and I bottom it out and it even appears to be sealing. So that is no good. No good. Absolutely not. Yeah. And, you can take yourself for a spin there because it could even appear to seal, right? But now look, this is the correct stuff right here. Now this is BSP. All right. BSP 6-6, right? Bang. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to thread this on. Take the washer off. I'm going to go ahead and thread this on. You're going to see right now. You're going to see the difference here. So boom. Right then and there, it's starting to fit great. And look, barely any wiggle. I know it looked like it was crazy, but no, barely any wiggle. And you go all the way down and look at that. It sits right on that flare just nicely and it seals perfectly. That is BSP all day long. Do not get fooled by this. Attention to detail. Look at what you're doing. Look at where those threads are. Look at how far that ID sits inside. Make sure you're just looking. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Make sure you don't get fooled. The reason why I got fooled this time was because BSP doesn't usually have an O-ring. BSP just has that seal. As you can see in this fitting here, it just has a seal. But yeah, guys, don't get fooled out there. And look at how, yeah, look at that. They both seal. They both those IDs sit in there deep. You can see thread above those.